Let me guess, you bought JobTread software and your business is still running super manual. You're probably even paying for the software and not even using it at all. Well, if that's you, in this video, we're going to talk to you about how to change that so that way you can actually start utilizing your JobTread software. I'm Philip Sessions, founder of Refined VA, where we help home remodelers like you build out their JobTread software along with supporting you on your jobs with JobTread software being that source of truth in your business. If you don't use it, you're not going to get any benefit from it. While JobTread is an amazing software, you have to think about it as a system. And what do I mean by that? You need to look back at your business and think about your customer's journey and the journey of your jobs. How in the world does that happen? How does the customer come in? What are the actions that you take before they finally sign a proposal? What do you do in the estimating process? What do you do during the jobs? What do your schedules look like? What does that communication look like? How are you updating things like daily logs or having daily logs being tracked? How are you tracking change orders? What is your process flow to get subs and vendors in? Do you have contracts? Those are things that you have to think about before you start building out this software. And when you take the time to think about your business as a system, that's when JobTread becomes quite a bit easier. Unfortunately, it still does take a lot of time to build it out if you don't understand JobTread or if you don't have systems in your business. So very first thing you need to think about is, what is my biggest bottleneck in the business? For most people, it's the estimating process. It does take a long time, especially when you don't have everything set up properly. And this is what we always recommend to our clients as well, is to get the estimates set up first. And when you get the estimates set up, this is the biggest lift when it comes to JobTread software build-outs. You need to set the base up first before you even think about using AI. Because if you don't understand the software and how it works, and you don't understand your business and how things move along systematically, AI is going to give you nothing but a bunch of AI slop. And it's going to destroy your JobTread because you now have a bunch of junk in there. You've got thousands of cost items that don't go to anything. You got drywall that says it's $4 a panel, but you can have this huge variation of difference because AI is only as good as you feed it, and the connector that JobTread has with Claude and ChatGPT and the other AIs out there is only as good as the JobTread setup. So when you start getting into JobTread, we highly recommend that you focus in on the estimates. And what exactly does that mean? Well, first you need to get your cost codes together. Cost codes essentially are the higher level parents, if you will, framing, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, those types of things. And then underneath that, you have your cost items, which may be labor, 2x4s, nails, HVAC units, you name it, those different things that you're going to have within each of those parent buckets. Or when you're putting in a cost item, you'll see it'll say cost or unit cost, which is your cost or the cost from Home Depot or another supplier that you have that you're sourcing material from. And then you'll have the price or unit price, which is the price that you want to sell it at. Now, if you already have your formula set up, your markups and margins, then it's going to automatically populate that price for you based on the markup that you have on each of those items. And then you have your types. So consulting labor, other software tools, or subcontractor. That way you can have it there and have those formulas set up within the settings, which is where you're going to put your cost codes and everything right in that same window of JobTread. And then when you're done with that, you just click create, and now you have your cost item. And you do that time and time again until you get all the items that you want, and then you can create a cost group. And this is where it gets really powerful. Essentially, think of a cost group as a folder that holds a bunch of files in it. So this cost group is a folder that holds a bunch of your cost items in it. And those cost items are pointing to your cost codes. And the cost codes are actually what go to QuickBooks. And I might be going a little too in depth for you on this, But if you want to tie in QuickBooks, that's in a nutshell how all that works. But anyways, you want to then get your cost groups. And once you get your cost groups, estimating gets a lot easier. So when you now create this customer, this job for this customer, you can use that cost group to speed up your estimating process. Of course, you want to make sure that the pricing's still good. You want to make sure that everything is covered in there, especially if there's customized items. But in a nutshell, you're not having to go through every single time and put every little line item because you've thought ahead of time. So when you start to focus on your JobTread software and think about it from a systems perspective and focus on one thing at a time, the build becomes a lot easier. And our recommendation, like I mentioned and covered a lot in this video, is to start with your estimates. When you get those estimates together, you get those cost groups together, it streamlines you building out your proposals for your clients. And from there, once you get that together, you're able to prompt AI to help you with that as well. But that's for another episode, and that's for another time when you are beyond just the base level and have built out JobTread. So start with your estimate templates if you're just getting started with JobTread. But before that, think about it systematically. What is that process that you go through with a job? What are those common jobs that you do? And start there. You don't need to build out every job. You don't need to build out everything at once. But you have to start thinking in systems rather than trying to think about it on a wing in a prayer. And if you need help building out your JobTread software or just want some help with support, comment build below and we'll reach out and set up a discovery call with you.